I've noticed with myself that if the physical happens too soon before there's an emotional connection, that's when I actually try to latch on to it as a relationship, even though if I actually step back and take a look, I'm like, wait, do I even really want to be in a relationship with this person?
Right. You know, we can start chasing it instead of it coming to us, and that's always a bit of a mistake, really. You know, it's no different than the energy of, you know, if you've ever been in sales or done sales, you know, and you're talking to somebody and they're interested and they want what you're offering and you're sort of explaining it to them. There's a whole different energy to that than to the moment when you can tell they're not really that interested, but you're still kind of like, no, but come on, like I can talk you in it, please. Are you not? It's suddenly you lose all of your self-respect in a way, really.
Yeah.
You know, and you're trying to get something to happen that's not for real, not really happening. It's that whole idea of he's just not that into you and being able to accept it. But you're right, sex too early, like I said, short circuits this chance, this opportunity for the man to fall in love and to realize that he wants to win your heart. And by, you know, getting into your panties instead of winning your heart to get into your heart, which is where he should be trying to get, we end up with an issue where for the woman it can cause a little bit of fear. Did I do the wrong thing? You know, now to validate the decision, you need him to make sure he sticks around and shows that he's otherwise, oh my God, I gave myself to him in this intimate way. I was emotionally vulnerable. And now he's going to reject me? Even more painful. Can't have that.
Right.
So really making sure we don't put the cart before the horse when it comes to that stuff will help protect from that. But it's also being able to move on. Knowing when a guy has moved on and that you should not chase him and have the self-respect. My favorite points in working with a client is when we've done the dating skills, we've worked on the inner work, the foundation to attract better guys. We've broken the pattern, and Mr. Awesome shows up. Not even a great guy, an awesome guy. The guy, in the words of some of my clients, who has everything we talked about on the checklist. And it is the worst and best thing to ever happen. They go on that date and they are terrified.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's actually here. Am I really enough for this? Well, he's going to see that I'm not enough for him. He's going to notice that, you know, all these deficiencies that come up that we believe about ourselves. So one of the most phenomenal things that happens at that point is that fear, and suddenly they're chasing and needy and trying too hard, as opposed to just knowing I'm enough. And if it doesn't work out, it's because he's not actually a good fit for me, or I'm not ready, and I need to go back and look at myself a little bit more. So that's one of my favorite points, because, in fact, anytime you think you've had a dating disaster, you really need to look at it as a growth opportunity. It's telling you something. It's telling you something that you could look at to grow, learn, improve, or change. We can't change the man. You can change what you're doing and how you're approaching it. And that's, again, the value of coaching. People ask, you know, well, I have friends. Well, you know, I get women who are like, why would you ever pay for dating coaching? I was like, well, you know, you've been getting your friends' advice. How's that been working out for you? The thing with friends is they're fantastic, but friends sometimes love to talk about the disaster, the problem, what's wrong. They don't always look at the solutions or have the tools to shift you. So it can be a lot of fun and entertaining to talk to the women, but I'm about nothing but getting you to your goal. Yes. What it really comes down to is, are you asking the right questions and are you carrying the right beliefs? Because if anything you're saying or believe or have it as an assumption as you enter dating is not going to support you in reaching your goal, and know your goal, is my goal just to have a lot of fun meeting new people? Is my goal to find a guy who has these qualities? Know your goal, and if your beliefs and the things you're saying aren't going to support it, then change them. Look at them. You know, if I say you can't trust men, does that sound like a mantra that you should repeat if you want to find a good man?
Right.
It's not going to get you there.
You know, whenever I hear women say those kinds of things, I cringe. One, because I don't like to hear them. Like things like, oh, just all men are jerks or all men are cheaters. One, I don't like to hear that stuff because it ruins my my space, you know, and I'm like, eh. But two, because I'm like thinking, gosh, that's what you're going to keep on getting. That's what you're going to keep on seeing is if you think like that, you know, so.
Yeah. You just made a phenomenal point, Kat. You know, one of the life coaching tools that I found the most powerful at helping women is called the 9 environments. And we assess all of the things that comprise our world, basically, from friends to our physical environment. And again, aligning each of them with your coach's assistance into figuring out how to make sure everything is supporting the goal that you're heading towards. And you pointed out a great one, which is the family, friends, the relationships, the people that you're surrounded by have a massive. I've heard it said that if you look at your 5 closest friends, they are an amalgam of who you are. So if you have 5 friends who are all poor and you're trying to become affluent, you're going to have a lot more trouble getting there with the reinforcement you're getting around you. You would need to align with different friends. Or maybe they would change their thinking and come along with it. If you are a single woman looking for a great guy and most of your friends don't believe in that for whatever reason or have negative mindsets or are settled down and it's not a priority, that's not going to help you. So look at the friends around you. Look at who you want to be talking to about your dates so that you get the right reinforcement, not the wrong reinforcement. Yeah.
So it sounds like to me that dating coaching versus rather than telling women and giving them rules, it's a lot more sort of self-work, helps them work on themselves to figure out what the blocks are maybe that are keeping them from experiencing what they really want.
Absolutely. You know, everyone here can probably relate to the idea of having a to-do list, you know, and you get to a point where your to-do list is yay long, longer than your arm. And, you know, it is the best strategy to find out ways to get more things done quickly on the to-do list so you can just add more to it. You know, this is the external approach of saying, well, maybe if I just go to more places, do an online dating site, you know, will that solve the dating? And sometimes it will help. Sure, it is part of the equation. We have to do our to-do list, the actions. But if you want a powerful change, hi truck, if we want a powerful change, back up the love right here. We're talking love. So if you want a powerful change, you want to start shifting not what's on the to-do list, but start reframing. You know, Tony Robbins has a great way of saying, what is the ultimate goal I'm trying to reach? Which of the things on my to-do list are the most important to get me there fastest? So I have get more paper supplies, call this person back, you know, drop the kids off at school, do this, do this, do this. My ultimate goal is that I want to have, you know, a new house for me and my family. If I call that guy to close that contract, that's my biggest thing to get me towards it. That's my number one. When you get here inside, suddenly your to-do list goes from this to this, and you're getting maximum return. So internal shifts, not just looking at these little external, the rule. Don't call them for 4 days and tricks and, you know, whatever. There are some things that you need to know. Sure, they're secondary to this approach. We're shifting you, and I'll tell you, the improvement in your life goes way beyond dating.
Absolutely. I could only imagine. So it sounds like we all could use a dating coach. I like it.
You know, absolutely, absolutely. And if you're already married, then you could look at getting a relationship coach just to get the most out of your relationships. I know that's a really growing area. Why do we spend so much time worrying about getting, and we shouldn't worry, it should be fun, getting into relationships and not nurture them once we're in, right? Let's take care of it. It's so valuable. You've got the love of your life. Take care of that and really nurture it. So absolutely, I'm a big believer in getting mentored and getting coaching. I've had several mentors already who are life coaches, and I have one now. And my life's so much better with their insight. You know, it's hard to see the end of your own nose and be objective about what you're doing. So having that person who has the tools and they can give them to you is so valuable. So valuable.
They help you see things that you might not see. So I love it.
And encourage you, support you, and challenge you, right? Who else is going to do that? I mean, we get it when we're growing up as little kids, hopefully, from our parents, right? And then we get out in the adult world, and who do we have to support, challenge, and see the highest potential in us?
Right. Absolutely. Great. So what is that website again people can go to?
www.barrypaulprice.com. I do have a Skype button right on there so we can do a 15-minute call and just get into it. Let's get into talking about your dating life and how to shift it. Get a guy you deserve. Stop dating guys who don't deserve you.
Awesome.
Really.
Thank you.
Time.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. Thank you so much. Some great insight you shared. I really appreciate it.
It's a lot of fun, and maybe we could do a 15-minute sometime because I'm trying to restrain myself, but I get somebody in front of me, and I just want to know how I can help you. So we'll talk off camera sometime,
yes,
and we'll figure out what we could be doing for you.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks, Barry. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. Take care, everybody, and you know what? Have a love-filled life.
Yes, and as post, without apology.